What's going on, everybody out there, and welcome back to another episode of the Dark Adventure Comic Book Review, the 470th episode to be exact.
Yeah.
Which you know what that means.
Yep, only 30 more episodes, or shall we say weeks, left to go until we hit the big 500th episode.
And
huge one.
Oh, it's going to be huge because that's halfway to 1,000. That's halfway to the goal I made way back when we were doing the very first 100 episodes. Anyway.
And where I came in too.
So, as you all know from the update video, after 500, two things are going to be happening. Number one, it will be the last video or new video that will be posted on this channel right here, Dark Avenger C86. If you are not following me on my new channel, by the time this video goes live, I will have a link in the description to my new solo channel, which goes beyond comic books, and it's going on right now. Not as much as I'd like, but as we move forward, before 500 and after, I will be posting videos on there, and that will become my only sole channel after 500. And then after 501, the second thing, and third, kind of, second thing being, from 501 on, it will no longer be on a weekly format. It will be as we have the time or as we want. So if we miss a week, if we're too late, we're going to skip it. So the weekly format will be dropped after 500, and then the third thing will be from 501 on, any Dark Adventure comic book review episode will be posted on Comic Frontline first, and then archived on this channel later. So after 500, that will be the last new thing on this channel. Everything from that point on, as far as uploads, will be videos that have happened already. It will become an archive channel. So again, if you're not following me on my channel, which is Chris DeBoudwell, go follow me on there now. I'm trying to get to that 100 subscribers so I can set up a custom URL. For right now, I do not have a custom URL. We are just below 100. Hopefully in another week or so we'll see what happens. And like I said, I've got to get some more videos up. As a matter of fact, since this is the pre-review, I will say we will be doing an unboxing of the two Let's Go's that are coming out this week on my channel, so you can
Yes,
look
and it
that
has
up.
been confirmed that it was shipped and coming to us.
Right, so on Friday I will have a video on my new channel, so go check that out. And future-wise, I have a couple of videos I'm working on for my channel as well. Michael will be starting Topic Time over on Comic Frontline. He's dropping one of his reviews, so he'll be doing one review a week instead of two, and he will be taking over our Topic Time spot. I might jump in on occasion if I have a topic I wish to talk about, and Michael take a break that week. But for the most part, Michael is going to be doing Topic Time
On Mondays.
On Mondays, and as you all know, I contribute to the top 5 panels, whereas Michael does not. So I will be contributing. I can talk to the top 5 panels, which comes out on, I think we moved it to Tuesday, correct? Yeah, we moved it to Tuesday,
Yeah.
so you can look forward to my top 5 panels on there. I feel like I'm just talking about stuff that we're doing at the moment. And then also, I made a post on Facebook recently. It is friends only, so unfortunately, not everyone can see it, but I will kind of summarize what I said there. Stanley unfortunately passed away, as you all know, this past Monday, and that lit a fire under me, and it got me to really thinking a lot. And there's going to be a lot more of my, myself is my brand. My name is my brand. I am my own brand. And doing videos was definitely a step in the right direction. Doing the videos I want on my new channel was definitely a step in the right direction. But there's a lot more to me than just doing videos. And I'm working in time. I'm trying to figure out how everything would fit in. But there are other things outside of just doing videos that I want to do. However, I'm not going to overwhelm myself with a bunch of different things at once and then end up falling short like I know I've done in the past. This time around, I'm going to plan it out. I'm going to really think hard. I'm going to do some testing around and see if I can keep consistency with everything I want to do. And if I can, like I said on the post on Facebook, I'm going to say it here. There will be no announcement videos. There will be no update videos. It's just going to happen. So I guess you can say there'll be a "this is happening now" video, but it will not be a "this is coming soon" or a setup video. It will just happen. So look forward to things happening, especially in the coming year. I don't want to say too much for this year. We only got 2 months left. But look forward to a lot of things happening in 2019, and even at the end of this year in 2018. Like I said, there will be no updates and there will be no announcements for things coming. It's just going to happen, and it's going to be glorious.
Glorious.
That's why that's the first thing
that
hit
thing
my mind
just
too.
yeah.
Now, before we get into this week's books, because it's already been 5 minutes, I think that's a good enough pre-show, unless I missed something.
If you haven't seen our tribute video to Stan Lee, we did post on Comic Frontline, as well as my tribute on Due to Rock 18 as well. And there are lots of stuff that's going to happen for Due to Rock 18, such as the Ultimate Unboxing that we'll get with Super Smash Bros. Next month, as well as wishing Smash Bros. For Wii U a happy 4th birthday on Wednesday, if I could get some recording done this weekend.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
With 10 seconds up to 6
Yes.
minutes. Here we go. Before we get into this week's books, though, Michael has a book that comes from outside of this week.
Outside this week, I mean, counting this book, there are 17 books, and
this is for the week. Well, yeah, you know what? Do your book,
I'm gonna do my
then
book,
we're
and
gonna
then
do the
we'll
week.
do that. Yeah, so
So we have 16 books from this week, 17 including the one that did not come out this week.
Right. So from Argo Comics, from our great friend Dan Sin, we have Gladiatra versus Leopard Lass. Argo 5
Sorority
versus
of Power. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Argo 5 versus Sorority of Power. And it's really just a short story. I just want to show some artwork. It's just Gladiatra who's stopping an armed robbery, and Leopard Lass was thinking that she was causing all the trouble, but she really wasn't. She was like saying that she was stopping an armed robbery, and then that was it for that. And it's like saying, oh, my bad, no hard feelings, and she prefers dogs, not cats, which I thought was funny. And then we got this nice pinup section here.
The pinup was awesome. I love the pinups in this book.
You know,
I looked through the pinups
and
as well.
yeah, the art, I really enjoy the art, and there's some really interesting
that one
ones.
was an interesting one.
Yeah. But really awesome. And I like this part. I think you'll like. Hold on, not that one. This one, where she says, "Admit Argo."
That was in another book.
It was. I remember that, and I thought that was funny. But yeah, definitely check out Danson's comics on Argo Comics. That is argocomics.com.
Or Indie Planet, indyplanet.com. And just type in Argo 5 or Argo Comics. Boom. All the books will be there.
Yep. And all that will be there for that.
Excellent book as always. So now we're going into this week's books.
Yes. Oh, and it does get Giggity Goo stars because Sorority Power was in there also.
I thought the
But
pinups
going
would have
into-
been the Giggity Goo stars.
Well, that brings up the more Giggity Goo stars. But anyway, without all that said, this week's books that we're going to be reviewing digitally came out the week of November 7th, 2018. The first week of November. And let me get this because I was not prepared to reach over like that. So you go first with the indies.
Crowded issue 4. I completely forgot this came out, so I read this today. Let me fix the camera a minute. I forgot this came out. Crowded is a funny book, man. I love it because you have the bodyguard who's slowly losing her mind. This girl who apparently really wants to get herself killed. You got the other woman who we saw at the end of the last issue, who's the bounty hunter who's chasing after her. And then we find out that the bounty hunter used to be a police officer, a well-respected police officer. And it looks like her and her girlfriend are getting back. And then, of course, to save stupid, she goes running off and says, email me. Artwork's great, story is enjoyable as all hell, and hilarious at certain parts. Read the book. It's good. I love Crowded. I'm upset. I was almost upset I missed it. Thank God Comic Frontline came first, and we were able to... Frontline Live came first, so this way I knew it came out, and I grabbed it and put it in my read list. That and another book actually are in this review because of Frontline Live.
Alright. WWE issue number 22. The cover says it all. The phenomenal AJ Styles versus John Cena. Or the confrontation, so to say. And that's really all what's about the book. Like, AJ Styles is wrestling, and he sees, like, John Cena being the poster board everywhere, and he's, like, saying how he wants...
Give me a second.
Oh.
Okay.
And he's just, like, explaining how, you know, he should be there because he's, like, all around. And he has the club who actually help him out with his matches. And then John Cena said to him, as they were talking in the parking lot, that if you want to fight me one-on-one, then you should do it without help. So AJ Styles said not to let them help during ringside, and he ordered them actually to stay out of this. Whereas when he fought him, he actually won, and that's where John Cena gave him more respect, that he fought him one-on-one instead of the other people helping him. So I thought that was awesome. The second story, weird artwork. It just talked about Cesaro. That's really all the basis of it. And like we said on Frontline Live last night, me and Brand agreed. I don't know why they have to put a second story. I mean, it's good at times to put a second story, like just to give us the whole relaxing point after reading the main story. So I guess maybe that's why they did it. But all in all, when I was reading about the AJ Styles and John Cena thing, that actually reminded me of when they had that feud with each other, where John Cena respected him, and then AJ Styles just came out being, well, an ass to him, and then that's when it all happened. Now, this is Chris's next book. I don't know where he went, but oh, well, your book is next, actually. But yeah, definitely read WWE issue number 22.
Oh, I'm just gonna throw it out. I still have to read the ending of it. I had to throw it in the review though. Doctor Who, the 13th Doctor, issue number 1. Sorry, I had to fix something in the fridge. I loved this issue. I love the 13th Doctor. If you like the 13th Doctor, if you've been enjoying this season, you need to read this book. It was enjoyable. The artist got the characters down perfect.
Top notch, actually.
And I loved it. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm like a couple of pages shy of finishing it. I loved it. I love it. I will definitely be adding this to my read pile. Will I be reviewing it? Maybe not, but I will say I will recommend it. And I think I will put it in the reviews every time it comes out just to recommend it, unless I feel like flip-flop. It was good. I enjoyed this issue a lot. Definitely recommend it, especially if you're a fan of the 13th Doctor.
Ooh, Doctor Who itself, yes. The Walking Dead, issue number 185. The thing is about this issue is that I feel that it's talking more. I mean, we all know it's about the Commonwealth. We all know Dwight is indifferent with Rick about how he cares about his people, so they have their differences towards each other. You have these. Then you have Rick, who is talking with Michonne about his memories, what he had with Andrea, and he wishes that Andrea would see how the Commonwealth is. He just wished she was alive. Meanwhile, we have I think Megan, the leader, who talks with I really don't remember his name. I didn't like him anyway. About his Lance, actually, about his ways and stuff like that. And it's just like a long story. And then you have Dwight, who gets with the security guards, and then he gets to jail, and then that's where Mercer comes in and says that Rick should be the leader of the Commonwealth. So that's like another step for direction of Rick. But I mean, Rick's familiar with the being leader, so I say why not? You'd be a great role for that. A new comic book that came out from Zenescope, Van Helsing's...
A new mini.
Sword of Heaven, issue number 1 of either 5 or 6. I don't remember. I'll see... 6, yeah. So, first of all, I gotta say, the artwork is really amazing. I want to say who the artwork's by. Julius Abria, and the writer is Chuck Dixon, of course, of that.
Oh, really? Chuck Dixon?
Yeah, Chuck Dixon's the writer.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and what it's talking about is basically her origin, just going after these demons and vampires and whatnot. And she goes for this relic. And this person who actually comes in to talk with her is Methody or something like that. Oh, Raijin Khan. Yeah. And he looks like he wants to help her, but technically he just wants to make a life a living hell for her as the issue continues. And we have this little boy who actually helps her because she needs to take a train to Sussex to find out more investigations and stuff like that. And I like how just in the end, how he sees all this happen, the little boy saying, I have your chick your ticket and your change. Perhaps I'll come back later. And I thought that was actually really funny. So this is basically the beginning of her new journey to somewhere else. I'm surprised we didn't see Hades. I don't think he died, right? I don't think he did.
Now, I'm surprised at you for this because I'm probably going to be reviewing this.
Oh, well, go ahead.
Michael should be reading this book, but I'm going to throw it out there so next time he will be reading and reviewing issue number 2. Marvel Knights!
I wasn't told, but alright.
Number 1. Apparently a lot of the Marvel Knights forgot who they were, and it's up to Frank Castle to get them to remember.
Me
and in this issue, Frank Castle reaches out to Matt Murdock, and Matt finally snaps out of it and remembers who he is, and then he goes to his friends who don't remember him, though. And he has no identity. So, what's going on? And it's connected to, are you ready for this? Doctor Doom.
Ah.
With the Kingpin.
Wouldn't see that coming with Kingpin.
Also, you see the Fantastic Four, but they don't know that they're the Fantastic Four. It's crazy. All the heroes don't know they're heroes, basically.
Wow. So basically, it's just a book of like just being ordinary people, just not knowing that they're heroes.
Mm-hmm. And it's Marvel Knights universe, where you read from The Punisher.
Well, I don't remember Marvel Knights. I just remember The Punisher. But gee, thanks for letting me know. Now I didn't know.
I like this X-23 story. X-23 number 6. 6. I enjoyed it. It's a one and done story. They go undercover in a school. Laura's a gym teacher.
Yeah,
Gabby is a
wasn't
student.
she known just to be Laura, or is she still just X-23 with
She's
the
both.
Oh, so she could be one or the other.
Right.
Oh.
So they're undercover trying to figure out. I forget what it was exactly, but there's something bad going down in the school, and of course it's the science team.
Allergies?
No, it's the science team that's behind it, and it's this one girl in particular who creates this gigantic robot to fight X-23 and Gabby, and obviously she loses in the end, but it's really cool. I like the dialogue with Gabby. Now, I know a lot of people didn't like it, and I am wondering where the direction of this book exactly is going, but it was still a fun one and done. Who knows? The next arc could be the one that really starts moving the book forward. Obviously, this was a transition story, and sometimes they're done right, sometimes they're done wrong. And now that I've read all my books, I can tell y'all that this book, along with another book that I contradicted myself with, wouldn't have been in my top 5. But we're not here to talk about top 5s. We're here to talk about the books in general. So if you hear me saying something different here, it's because I finally read all my books, and now I can tell you all that this wouldn't have been in my top 5. Infinity Wars, number 5. While I did enjoy watching Gamora get her butt kicked by all the characters you see on this cover, who each had a copy of an Infinity Stone, gem, whatever they're called, this event fell flat a long time ago. I know a lot of people are upset about it now, saying that this is their worst pick, their next to worst pick, whatever. I love the art in this book, I will say that. But this book does exactly what every Marvel event book does. Starts off strong, and then it tanks. And that's what's happening here. The book, Gamora as a supervillain. This was supposed to be this big twist to this arc, that she's Requiem. She's funny as a bad guy, I will say that. And she gets her comeuppance when they toss her into the universe that she threw into the Soul Gem. But, again, I don't even know where the last issue's going, but I laughed so hard with Infinity Wars. While it wouldn't be my next to worst or worst pick, it was still bad. I mean, you're not supposed to be laughing at it. You're supposed to be like, wow, this is a big event. Marvel's... No. And knowing Marvel, there's like 5 more coming very soon. Speaking of events, but this one is a more contained one, Spider-Geddon number 3. I will say I'm enjoying Spider-Geddon a lot. I die every time Doc Ock says the die is cast, but it is definitely known.
With that?
It is definitely known here that Doc Ock is the main Spider for this arc. Peter Parker is doing his thing in Peter Parker, the Amazing Spider-Man. The only Peter Parker we get here that's close to our Pete is the one from Renew Your Vows, and now the PlayStation 4, or the Gameverse Spider-Man. And there's a lot of talking that goes on in this book. There really is. But then Miles takes the initiative and goes to New You and tries to stop the Inheritors before they bring their father back. Unfortunately, things fall flat. There's a plot hole. If you want to know about that plot hole, go watch Frontline Live. But I like that they took the initiative. I believe there's only a few more issues, maybe 2 more weeks worth to go. 2 more issues worth to go for this event. But I'm enjoying it, and honestly, I can see this springboarding Doc Ock into the Superior Spider-Man issue #1. I definitely can see this being that event that kind of springboards him and Miles into their #1s each. In the DC Comics, and we're starting with the Metal verse. We're starting with, well, the metal side of DC, and we're going to do the Sideways Annual. It was horrible.
Really? Guest starring Superman?
It's not the Superman. It's guest starring New 52 Superman.
Oh, I thought we got rid of that.
As you all know, Sideways is in my casual read pile, as is already. I wanted to review this because Superman was in it, thinking, hey, there's something that goes on with it. No. New 52 Superman, as we all knew. But he's staying behind. And it's a bunch of... And it's not... No surprise, it's Grant Morrison who writes half the book, I believe.
Oh wait, let me see.
Michael's gonna see for himself. Go ahead.
As I try to scroll. Wait. Storytellers with special guest writer Grant Morrison.
So I'm glad that Sideways will be getting back to basics after this, hopefully. And we don't do this again, because this definitely took Sideways out of what we are normally used to. And if this already fell to a casual read and it fell even further off, yeah, DC bring him back to where he was before, at least. The Dreaming from DC Vertigo. I should have done that first in hindsight now. Oh well, anyway, this is issue #3.
Oh, sorry.
Judge Gallows, released by Jack. I believe his name is Jack. The Jack-o'-lantern.
Judge Ezekiel.
No,
Gallows.
yeah.
Wait.
He's released by him. I forget what his name is.
It's named... Oh, wait. No.
I can't remember. But anyway, at first he looks innocent enough. He just wants to observe what's going on in the Dreaming. You know, he wants to help out. And Lucien is kind of losing his mind bits and pieces at a time, and little things are going on in the background. And then, of course, that's where we all saw this coming.
Matthew?
No. Judge Gallo basically turns dark not even halfway through the book. And he has his order he's going to portray in the Dreaming. Lucien drops a truth about the girl that's in this book, and it sends her into like a comatose state. And her buddy that's been teaming up with her from the Blanks was now hung. And I'm starting to wonder if he's starting to regret bringing Judge Gallows out. But it looks like dark stuff is in store for the Dreaming. Nightmares are on the way. I really hope Sandman makes an appearance, or else things are going to get really dark really fast, unless Lucien somehow steps up. And there is a little nod to House of Mystery. Not House of Mystery, House of Whispers. The boats in this issue, I really like that. And one of the characters isn't stuttering anymore. The Dreaming is fundamentally falling apart. Sandman needs to come back, or else everything's going to fall apart. Matthew has to come back, or else the whole Dreaming is going to fall apart.
We'll find out. Green Arrow issue #46.
We're in the DC universe now.
Yes. In Green Arrow. And I want to remember what this guy's name is, because it was barmy since... basically the guy who's doing the broadcast that was saying that we must bring Oliver Queen to justice, but he's been hiding. So we have Green Arrow and Black Canary who are doing their thing by saving Seattle, and we have Black Canary who talks with this woman about Oliver Queen, and goes to Shane Andrews for some answers about all this stuff, and he thinks that Oliver Queen is innocent by finding out some evidence and stuff like that. And that was like really something else there. And so yeah, Black Canary and Green Arrow who split up to look for stuff their way, while Oliver Queen makes a press conference for that. And I'm trying to remember what his name is. Citizen. That's what his name was. And he basically holds Oliver Queen kidnapped, and next issue is the execution of Oliver Queen. which it's either a pun or I don't know, but we'll find out in the next issue what happens.
By far the worst book from this week, in my opinion, is The Green Lantern, issue number 1. Grant Morrison takes over the reins, and he has a 12-issue first story arc. We don't know if he's going to be doing another arc after this. I'm done. I have no interest in this book. It literally takes Green Lantern and brings him back to the 1970s. Whereas we've been with, Hal has been through so much. See, I could sit here and I could
Has
spend...
his timeline been going back and forth lately?
I don't know.
He keeps going back
I
and
could
forth?
sit here and talk to you guys about this forever. And again, and we talked about this too. It's not really as much to do with they took all the continuity away. This book blatantly just throws us right in the middle of something in the 1970s, maybe. Well, no, because it has new Oa. The 1970s feel. Let's put it that way. It's the 1970s feel. Whatever Grant Morrison wanted to keep from previous runs, he did, which was almost nearly nothing. And I don't know, it just didn't feel like a Green Lantern book. You know what? I'm not even going to complain about the continuity or anything.
Are they going to new Oa or something?
Yes. After reading this issue, it is very different from the Green Lantern I've been reading since 2005. And the feel alone has taken me out of the book, turned me off to the book, and I don't like Grant Morrison's work on this book. The only book Grant Morrison ever did that I enjoyed was Justice League of America, and that's it. And I know a lot of people are liking this book. New readers are loving this book. Grant Morrison fans obviously are loving this book, and that's great for all of you. I, on the other hand, do not like this book. And as of this issue, I'm done with it. Unfortunately, because we buy our books from DCBS 3 months in advance, or 2 months in advance, really, I am getting issue 2 physically. I'm not reviewing it. I'm not reading it. I'm not interested in it. Green Lantern was a disappointment for me. Is it a disappointment for everybody? No. This is the Green Lantern from this moment forward up until Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps ended that I enjoyed. And even in between there were arcs I didn't like. This was completely out there, something completely different, and I'm not interested in it. It just did not hold me at all. Batman number 58. Penguin is teaming up with Batman now. So we got Two-Face teaming up with Batman and Detective, and now Penguin wants to team up with Batman in Batman. And what happens is Penguin gets called by Bane, and he gets thrown into Arkham, talks with Bane. Bane gives him orders to mess with Bruce Wayne, because Bruce Wayne is the reason why Mr. Freeze went and walked after Batman brought him into justice. And yeah, I like the Alfred moment in the beginning where he's cleaning the dinosaur, and this kind of references the button a bit. But Batman is fighting Penguin. He gets a lead on Penguin. He goes to Penguin, and then Penguin basically does a double cross, and I think he's ready to tell Batman what Bane is planning and to give Batman the 4-1. Unless this is all Bane's plan to begin with, then I have no clue. But this issue definitely reminds all the readers, hey, don't forget, Bane is in the background, and he's manipulating everything. And he is manipulating everything from Nightwing to Mr. Freeze. Everything that's going on in Batman right now, Bane is basically the puppeteer, and Batman is the puppet. And I wonder if this is another one of Bane's things he's setting into motion, or if Penguin legit is going to be the reason that sets Batman towards fighting Bane. Now, we are pretty far into this arc. I believe this is a 100-issue thing that Tom King has laid out. We'll have to wait and see where it goes. I did not care for the Shakespeare part in this book. Clearly, this whole thing could have been done a lot quicker. This all involves Catwoman, who's not even a thought on Batman's mind at this moment. I mean, she is, but to us readers, Batman hasn't even referenced Catwoman in a while. I don't know. I'm going to see this through till 100, and this also, like I mentioned last night, now I am sure after reading all my books would not have been in my top 5 at all, just like Infinity War. Justice League number 11, another book I forgot until last night that came out. For some reason, this fell between a few of my other books. This picked up. It definitely picked up. It was still a lot of talking. It was still a lot of talking heads. I love the variant with Aquaman. But Aquaman gets free. and Wonder Woman rescues him, and he needs to go see Poseidon. While on Earth, Superman's wearing an eye patch, Flash is slowly changing, and there's only
Why
one...
is he wearing an eye patch?
I think he got hurt. I believe it's because of the waters and he got hurt. So Black Manta ends up fighting with Mira. You know, Superman and Flash are there. They're fighting. Black Manta has Aquaman's powers. Now Aquaman goes to Poseidon to get his powers back, and epic twist. And then Batman, who's trapped in the Hall of Justice with Baby Starro, who
So
calls
Lex
him Dad.
is a bad guy.
Yes, this is still very much the Legion of Doom story, where the Legion of Doom basically did all this so they can break into the Hall of Justice and get the universe or the cube that the Justice League got their hands on, the singularity that they got their hands on in the first arc. So this is basically a connecting arc. Go figure. Super Sons, Adventures of the Super Sons, issue number 4. It's a very straightforward issue. They're in the cab. There's a lot of Superboy puking, both red and blue. They end up crashing on a planet where we find out that there's a mansion. They go in there and they're fighting a bunch of monsters. Young Joker, or Joker Jr., says, you know what? I saved them. They're not dead. They're alive. I'm getting the hell out of here. Basically hijacks Cabby and his cab, disappears and goes off. And John and Damian are kind of stuck in this mansion. John refuses back together as one, so the red kryptonite effects are done. And for some weird reason, there's an older version of Damian and John in this house.
The House of Secret Mysteries they're in?
I don't know, it's a different planet. So, definitely some interesting stuff going on there, but it was a very quick read. The dialogue is what made this book a little bit longer, but it was a point A to point B story. I will say that. And that's it. That was the last book. I didn't even know that. I thought we had one more.
Nope, that was it.
So that was the last book. And with that, everybody, that is it for this week's Dark Avenger comic book review. Thank you all so much for being here. 32 minutes. We're getting shorter. Little bits at a time. We're being able to talk a little bit faster with our books. Yeah. So till next time, everybody, definitely go check out the pre-review show for all the news. Frontline Live, as you all know, Tuesday nights. I do Zone 4 podcast Friday nights. Both live shows, both on Comic Frontline. We are chugging along towards 500. We are now 29 episodes away. This was the 30 episode mark. Next week it'll be 29. I'm super excited to get to 500. I'm sure all of you are too. Go check out my main channel, my new solo channel. Link will be in the description below. Go check out all the stuff we talked about before. And until next time, everybody, take care. Keep reading, keep collecting, and we'll see you all in the next episode of the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review.
Later, guys.